So is clearing a second choice or actually for students a fantastic opportunity? I'm joined by Kim from Middlesex University London to answer that very question. So Kim, first question for you. Why do so many people think that clearing is a backup plan when really often we both know that it isn't?
And that's a good question. I think historically, clearing's kind of been seen as this thing that is for those that perhaps don't get the grades they want. And I think clearing's never just been about that, but it has had that stigma attached to it for some time. I'm going to sound a bit cheesy, actually. I think clearing's actually a really beautiful opportunity. I think it's a nice time since submitting that application back in sort of Christmas, January time. It's a really nice opportunity for students to reflect, think about whether things have changed for them, and then make an informed decision. So I think it's just another opportunity in the cycle to make a really informed decision and just make sure that you're confident in where you're going and that it's the right fit for you. So yeah, I think traditionally it's been given that, but it's a big misconception. And yeah, for me, it's more about actually reassuring yourself that you've made the right choice for you and where you're going to be most, happy and successful.
Fab, Kim. So linked to that, and it does touch on a lot of the answer that you just said, but I'd just love you to expand on it a little bit. So can students actually end up somewhere better fit for them when it comes to clearing?
Yeah, 110%. I think if you take yourself back as a student now to when you first applied and you had those 5 choices and you submitted, you're going back some time since you went to those open days, since you made those decisions. And actually, like anything in life, nothing's static. During that period, things may have changed for you as an individual. It may be that you've discovered a new institution. It could be your career ambitions changed. It could be that you've discovered this place has this wonderful placement opportunity, or further away from home, closer to home, whatever it might be. And so I think you can end up in this period of time doing more research, more reflection, and actually then creating a better decision that is a better fit for you as an individual and where you want to take it. So I think it's about finding that right fit academically, socially, personally. And we talk about that all the time, right? The whole way through the cycle. We talk about information, advice and guidance and making sure you're collating all that information, all that research to make a super informed decision, which is all we ever want for anybody going to university. Clearing is no different. It's actually such a nice, vibrant time to engage with universities to find out as much information as possible. If you choose to go through clearing, or if it feels like the right option for you, depending on circumstances, I think you can absolutely find something that is potentially a better fit for you than what you've potentially already decided. Or if you've not got anything planned yet, then by all means, there's still a lot of time now during this whole process to find the right fit. So whether you've already got a place somewhere, or actually you've not even looked at attending university this year so far, clearing is actually a really vibrant time to engage with universities and current students, particularly across social platforms, open days. There's a lot going on in this period of time that can just mean you can make a really solid decision that feels right for you.
Love that, Kim. And also shout out for the research, like the importance of getting research done, Kim, and making sure that you are, as a student, making choices. Because I tell you what, there's not many times in your life where you've got a decision and that decision is going to mean you're going to live somewhere for 3 years of your life. And actually it could be anywhere. It could be in the UK, it could be abroad. And it's fascinating, isn't it, when you think about it, that one decision you're going to make on one day is going to then impact what comes next for 3 years or more, eh?
It changes your life, right? I always talk about my own university experience. I would still say it was the best 3 years of my life when I think about university. If we're being really honest and we're having a really candid conversation about where things are at the moment, you see a lot in the media around the value of higher education, and you can flip that into a positive. It means that, if it is something you want to go and do and you want to go to university and you want to pursue that journey, even more so, it's important that you're making the right decision for you and it's the right fit. When else do you spend this amount of money on something this big and you're investing so much of your time and energy into it? So the more research you do, the better. And even if you've made your decision, you get the results you wanted, you want to stick with where you're at. Let's say that's the scenario. There's no harm in actually re-engaging, touching base with the university that you're going to. Again, there will be so many open days across August and July as well. Use that opportunity to re-engage. Perhaps you missed an applicant visit day. Everything may be badged as clearing across the next 2 months. In lots of universities, you'll see clearing open day or clearing information events. There's nothing stopping you as an offer holder. If you want to go re-engage with that institution, go and get a sense check again. If something's changed for you, or if you want to double check something, you want to ask another question around what does a placement look like? What opportunities are there socially? What sports teams do you have? Or can I see this facility? I've seen these modules online. Can I get some more information? Still use this period of time to either cement your decision, or it could help you perhaps change your mind. And there is no right or wrong. It's whatever's best for you as an individual.
Such a brilliant answer. And it's about, going back to research again, isn't it? Spending the time. And I don't want to go self-indulgent now, but to bring my own choices, I loved uni, picked up loads of transferable skills, but I did the course that someone else suggested for me, and it wasn't the right course for me. Worked out well, I love what I do now, but I look back now and think I could have spent 3 years studying something that I just loved, like as a subject, so much. One other question, Kim, is linked to what comes next in careers. So there'll be students that are watching this thinking, yeah, I might go into clearing, but is this going to impact when it comes to jobs? So if we look at clearing, I know it shouldn't have the backup plan context, but for the people that think it has, that then worry that future employers are going to know they applied for university through clearing. Do you mind just talk to us a little bit about that?
I think that's actually a really good question, and probably one of the things that gets raised the most when you're having conversations around clearing is, how's that actually going to impact me in the future? Will it impact me in the future? The short answer is no, it doesn't. Ultimately, the route in which you take to get to university isn't the bit that employers are worried about or even interested in, actually. It's the transferable skills, it's the experiences you get, it's how you make the most of that time at the university, it's the degree that you come out with, it's about the actual university experience itself. It's not about the route in which you took to access that. A lot of the time, your employer, or if you're in an interview, won't even know or even engage in that conversation around whether you entered university through clearing. There's an interesting flip to that, but it's kind of like, but what if they do? What if they do ask me that? I always think there's something really nice in this, in that I know when we do sort of interview prep and techniques, and we always talk about flipping things into positives, right? Let's say there is this negative misconception that clearing is a backup and it's not an opportunity, and you're in a conversation with an employer, and for argument's sake, they say to you, okay, so you entered university through clearing. Perhaps you've had that conversation and they're asking you why. Why did you do that? Perhaps they're just interested. Isn't it wonderful to actually be able to pitch that back and say, well, I did that for the right reasons. I think it actually showed sort of agility, maturity, the ability to reflect on your own skills. And actually, those are skills employers really want. You can take that and say, I'm not static, just like the market and everything around us, the employers around us. And so, yes, I chose to go through clearing, but for these reasons. And actually, that demonstrates that I'm agile, I've got resilience, I can make really well-informed decisions, I can act under pressure in some circumstances. I think you could flip it into a really valuable skill for employers if that conversation ever happened. But truthfully, I don't think I've ever been in a situation with an employer where they've even asked the question. And so no, it doesn't matter. It's not about the route. It's very much about the destination and what you choose to do with that experience. But if you were ever in that situation, flip it into the positive that it absolutely is.
Oh, brilliant answer. I love the whole turning the potential negative to a positive. And I too, Kim, I've never ever heard that mentioned as a question from an employer or anything else. So I completely share that. And the other thing that I loved you saying is about the opportunities at uni that you can get involved in. And one of the concerns that I have now is some students that go to uni don't get involved in anything, and having not gotten involved in anything, then finish uni and then perhaps are then struggling to find jobs. And it's like, university is your opportunity. You can start businesses, you can join every society on the planet, you can get a part-time job, you can volunteer, you can travel abroad. Like, there's so much you can do that then when you finish, you're like, I took every opportunity that's available to me. And you know what? I'm this is me. And you're not going to struggle to find a job if you're that person that just takes everything that's thrown at them.
It's so much more than just the degree that you're studying. It's everything else that comes with the experience. And you'll have so much embedded within university courses. So obviously I'll speak about Middlesex because that's where I am. But in terms of the way touch points are embedded into the course with employers or placement opportunities, all those sorts of things, you're going to have so much that's embedded within your course that you can harness and sort of take so many opportunities from. But as you said, it's all the wraparound stuff as well. If you think about the number of societies and clubs that are available, even just things that are in the local community spaces of your institution. Again, take Middlesex. I'm a rugby player, so let's think rugby. There's Saracens ground down the road. There's opportunities to engage with so many things that fulfill you as a person, as well as your academic studies. And when you bring those two together, you're sort of, it's going to sound super cheesy, but creating that whole, and it's about that rounded individual, right? And it's all of those different experiences, both academic, social, personal, that make us who we are. There's transferable skills across all of those elements of our life that ultimately lead us to where we're going to go in the long run in our careers.
Fantastic, Kim. Love that. And if I had my time at uni again, I'd be learning languages, because you can, and at university, you can learn languages in all sorts. So final one, Kim, and let's just play out the situation. You've got someone that's watching this and they have a university place, not concerned in terms of getting the grades, and they think it's going to get results day and it's going to be pretty straightforward. But do you mind just talking to us a little bit about why students in that position still actually would be well advised to take a look at what's available in clearing on results day as well?
If we go back to that situation, so I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a student who has got their place. I made that decision some time ago, and things for me personally may have shifted or changed. I may have experienced something new. I may have a change in sort of what my career prospects want to be. I may have attended a taster day with school or college at one of my local universities or somebody further afield. There's lots of things that can happen in that space of time. And it's not to say that the decision that you've already made is wrong. It could be that that is still absolutely the concrete place that you want to go to. And actually it's still absolutely the right place for you. But there's nothing wrong with using this period of time now to re-engage and cement that, or if it ultimately changes your mind. And again, there's no right or wrong answer to that. Either is absolutely fine. If it was me right now and I'd got my place and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the grades and I'm feeling fairly confident, I know that clearing hotlines are open now. UK universities, you can call them right now and speak to admissions staff, applicant services staff, student ambassadors, course staff in some circumstances as well. You can have those in-depth conversations, re-engage with that institution where you've already got that place, cement it again. Is it absolutely the right place for you? You may already know in your hearts of hearts 110%, in which case you don't have to do that. But if there's something in you that's saying, I'm not 100%, explore it, because you've got absolutely nothing to lose and possibly everything to gain, right? So use the open days that are available across this period. There'll be loads happening across July and August. They may be badged as clearing events, but you can absolutely go and explore, re-engage with that institution you've already got a place with. But then search what is available. You may come across something you've not considered. It could be really closely related to what you've already chosen, but maybe slightly different modules or different opportunities. It could be something completely different. Try not to think of it as a backup option. It's very much just an opportunity within the normal cycle of applying to university to reflect on your decision making and change your mind if you want to. Use it to do as much research as possible, re-engage. By all means, keep your options open.
Brilliant, Kim. Thank you. So the final question for you is, people watching this, how can they find out more about Middlesex University London's clearing plans?
Good question. So I'm obviously very biased. I'm very passionate about Middlesex University London, but you can head over to mdx.ac.uk/clearing, or you can ring our hotline number, which should be on the screen now. They are open, and you'll have a brilliant opportunity to speak to a wonderful number of our student ambassadors or admissions staff, and they can support you in terms of discovering new opportunities, or even just some general support around the clearing steps and what's next. And then on the website itself, there is more information around how to navigate clearing and our social channels. I can't underestimate the power of social channels. There is lots of information, advice and guidance on how to even hold the phone call, what information you might need to hand, all of those sorts of things, just to make it feel a bit easier. So yeah, please do engage, and we really look forward to having a conversation with you and supporting you in whatever way we can during this period.